I want to tell everyone good evening. My name is Atticus Weiser. I'll be your MC tonight. I'm the Director of Human Resources for the high schools and middle schools here in Garland ISD, and I'm certainly glad that everyone could make it here tonight. I'm glad that the Hall of Fame has brought us together in a glass atrium during an apocalyptic hailstorm. That's going to be interesting, but it looks like the storm is going to stay away from us until late, so that's a very good thing. I would like to thank once again everyone for being here tonight. Your presence here at this event allows us to continue the work of the Garland Sports Hall of Fame and give back to our community in a number of the very, very best ways possible. So thank you guys very, very much for being here. First off, if you are a member of the Garland Independent School District Board of Trustees, if you could please stand and be recognized at this time. I believe we have Mr. Selders, Mr. Reed, Mr. Beach, Ms. Griffin, and Mr. Miller here tonight. Thank you all very much for the work you do on behalf of the school district and the students and the student athletes. I think we have a couple of GISD upper level administrators here tonight. We have Dr. Rick Lopez, our superintendent. Dr. Lopez, thank you very much for your support of the board. And we also have an assistant superintendent here tonight. Dr. Wendy Eldridge is here as well. Wendy, thank you for all your help getting those tickets sold. We appreciate it. We also have a number of campus administrators here, principals and assistant principals. Would you guys stand collectively and be recognized? Thank you for doing all the heavy work at the schools with these kids. We really appreciate it. Thank you guys very much. We also have a number of members that are from the Dallas Cowboy organization with us here tonight. So if you guys would stand and be recognized. We have Will McClay, who is the Vice President of Player Personnel. Mr. McClay, if you are here. He didn't make it, okay. Well, he's got a draft coming up, correct, Jeff? So we understand, we'll give him a pass on that. That's next week. How about Tom Siskowski, the Director of College and Pro Scouting? Is Mr. Siskowski. Thank you, Mr. Siskowski, for being here with us tonight from the Dallas Cowboys. Also, we have Henry Sroka, an Advanced Pro Scout with the Dallas Cowboys. Thank you for being here, Mr. Sroka. Rich Beam, the Director of Video and Pro Scouting. Thank you very much, Rich. Appreciate you being here tonight. Sam Garza, College Area Scout for the Dallas Cowboys. Thank you very much. And we certainly will give Will a pass and wish you guys the best of luck in the draft coming up here. I think the person who came the furthest tonight is one of the Hall's past inductees, and that's Herky Walls. Where's Herky? He is from Orlando, Florida. Mr. Walls, thank you for coming all the way from Orlando, Florida. Coach Duran and Coach Morris are over there if you need to have a talk with them, Herky, okay? All right. We also want to thank the members of the Naaman Forest and the North Garland High School drill team, the Sterling Stars and the Mamzelles. I think they're eating right now, but thank those ladies. They did a great job getting us seated. We appreciate them. The last group I want to recognize before we get started are the past inductees to the Hall of Fame. So if you're a member of the Hall of Fame, the Garland Sports Hall of Fame, would you please stand collectively and be recognized at this time? All members of the Garland Sports Hall of Fame. All right. Thank you very much. So we're going to start with the formal presentation tonight, and when Dennis asked me to do this again, I told him I'd be happy to, and when I knew that there was an impending hailstorm, I said, look, I have two presentations. I've got one with shtick, I've got one without shtick. Do you want me to hurry up and do the one without shtick so we can get through and the hail doesn't catch us out on the streets? He knows, oh no, do the shtick. I said, so okay, so I'm doing the shtick. So here we go. So I've emceed this event now for about 4 years in a row. I want to thank Dennis once again for allowing me to be here, because this is a great event for me to practice my public speaking skills at, and I constantly need to practice and hone that. As a matter of fact, I'm working on a presentation that I'm thinking about running out to the new employees in GISD next year at New Employee Orientation. So I wanted to kind of try this out on y'all tonight, this little presentation I've got. Would you be so kind to entertain me and let me do that tonight? It won't take but 2 or 3 minutes. Wow, you can feel the enthusiasm in this room. Okay, well, let me get started. I'm just going to put this on. Some of these jokes have been recycled from a Team GISD event, but many of y'all weren't at that, so it's no problem. Okay, so the name of my routine is called Garnack. You may be familiar with Karnak from the old Johnny Carson show where he held the envelope to his head, right, and he presaged the question. Well, I'm Garnack. I know all things Garland. So we're going to have just a quick little psychic event here tonight before we start with the meat and potatoes of the evening. So, is everybody ready? Here we go. Is my feather straight? Is it on? Thank you. Thank you, Jennifer. All right. I am the great and powerful Garnack. I know all things Garland, USA. And Rowlett and Saxe as well. As a child of 4 can plainly see, these envelopes have been hermetically sealed. They've been kept in a No. 2 mayonnaise jar on the back of John Washington's porch. No one knows the contents of these envelopes, but Garnack, in my borderline divine and mystical way, will ascertain the answers, having never before seen the questions. Is everyone ready? Good. Here we go. An Adam Sandler movie, a Garland Sports Hall of Fame induction ceremony, and a colonoscopy. Name 3 things that are difficult to get through. Thank you. Number 2, Mount Baldy. Mount Baldy. What you do when you play horsey with Johnny McCoy. Johnny, where are you tonight? Stand up so they get the joke. Thank you, Johnny. I cleared that with him. There he is. He's bald like me, so it's all good. All right. Number 3. Here we go. GISD transportation zones and quantum physics. GISD transportation zones and quantum physics. Name 2 things most people do not understand. Thank you. Earth, wind, and fire. Got some Earth, Wind, and Fire fans in here. Good. Earth, wind, and fire. What do you get after eating the loaded nachos at Williams Stadium? May your firstborn be swaddled in the soiled sports coats of Jed Reed. All right. What'd y'all think of Garnack? You think it's good for the GISD new employee orientation? All right. Thank you very much. This time we're going to bring up Ralph Mills. He is a GISD administrator here in Garland ISD, and he is a Garland Sports Hall of Fame board member, and he will be presenting the donations to local youth programs on behalf of the Hall of Fame. Ralph Mills.
Good evening. Great looking crowd we got out here today. This evening we are at the Garland Sports Hall of Fame. We'll be donating 4 $1,000 checks honoring the past and promoting the future. We have some great organizations here in Garland, and we want to continue to pour into them. And so those organizations are, if you would, or a representative would come up and grab this $1,000 check, because it's burning in my pocket. The Jesse Ramon Summer Track, an organization. Yes. We're going to give these organizations a little time to be able to speak to their organization and give a little promotion there. So I know every summer Jesse needs those track runners. So come on up.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm not Jesse. I'm from the Garland Track Club here in Garland, and we like to thank the GISD, Parks and Recreation, for without Garland, we would not be a track team. We would not have a track team. And we appreciate the Hall of Fame. This money will go and help some kids fulfill a dream, because without this, without assistance from our neighbors, from the neighborhood, from the community, they can't do anything, because it takes a community to help people get to their dreams. Thank you.
A representative from the South Garland Little League.
I'm kind of shy, so I'm not going to say much. We appreciate this. A lot of our players and families come from low-income areas, and all our sponsors, like the police and the fire, are a big help to pay for the kids to be able to play baseball. And we hope that they'll someday play at their high school down the road. Thank you again.
The Gardner Little League, representative for the Gardner Little League.
On behalf of Gardner Little League, I'd like to say thank you to our community for staying with us, behind us, donating and supporting local baseball. I guess along with South, like he said, low-income families where we have our fields and games and stuff. So this actually helps tremendously. Thank you.
And Garland Pee Wee football.
I guess last but not least, right? I got to go after all these guys. Great speeches. Garland Pee Wee football want to thank you guys. The kids want to thank you. This money will be well spent, and thank you.
We like to continue to do this each and every year, and we're not able to do that without the help of you all. If you would take the time and possibly donate to the Garland Sports Hall of Fame, we're online. There is also a golfing event this year, June 7th, that you all can donate to. And if for those who carry cash, there are board members who have their names that will be walking around, will collect donations. Just a little bit about the Youth Sports League here in Garland. There's not an opportunity for our kids in Garland to become the Quincy Morgans, to become the Chris Johnsons, to come to Patrick Daniels, if it not be for those that are in this room. And so we need to continue to pour into our young people. We need to continue to pour into our community. Garland is rebuilding, and it looks really great, and we want to implore that with our students and our kids too as well. And so again, if you would take the time before you leave to find in your heart so that we can continue not only to give to the youth sports leagues, but also these graduating wonderful seniors that we have at all the high schools represented. Thank you so much. Have a great evening.
All right, thank you, Mr. Mills, and thank you for all the work that those people do on behalf of the youth sports in Garland. We're going to move on now to the Gale Fields Awards, where we recognize our young people in the audience tonight. The Gale Fields Award is given annually to an outstanding male and female senior athlete from the Garland Independent School District. The namesake of the award, Mr. Gale Fields, had a vision back in 1986 to recognize outstanding student athletes in the community of Garland. The award is based not only upon outstanding athletic achievement, but demonstrated leadership qualities both on and off the field, court, or course, academic accomplishments, and community contributions that the athlete has made to Garland, Rowlett, and Sachse. Each of the 7 GISD high schools nominates a male and a female athlete to be considered for the award. The Garland Sports Hall of Fame Board then votes upon a male and female winner, and those winners will be announced here tonight. The nominees have been previously recognized at a GISD school board meeting where they received individual awards of excellence. But before we recognize the nominees and the eventual winners, I want to recognize the Fields family who is with us here tonight. I believe they're over here to my left. So if the Fields family could please stand. And thank you very much. Thank you, Fields family. And now if I could have Dr. Ricardo Lopez, Superintendent of Garland Independent School District, join me on stage, and he will be helping me to recognize the nominees and to give out the awards to the eventual winners. So once again, we're very proud of all of you and your many academic, athletic accomplishments. There we go. Oh my gosh.
I was going to predict the winner.
You were going to predict the winners? That could be okay. You'll notice I said Johnny McCoy when I said the Mount Baldy joke too, Dr. Lopez, right? Okay. I'm not stupid. All right. Maybe I am and I just don't realize it now that I just made that joke. Anyways, we're moving right along through this. So, I'm going to read, I'm going to read out all of the female athletes that were nominated. If you guys would come up here and stand on the stage, and we'll get you in a row, and then I will announce the winner. And you'll stay on stage, I think, and then I'll get the boys. We'll announce the boys winner. Then we'll have you guys all up here, and we can take photos and everything like that. So we're going to start with the female athletes. And ladies, when I call your name and I'm reading your biography, why don't you guys come on up here, shake Dr. Lopez's hand, and we'll get you up here, okay? So we will start with the first female nominee, and that is none other than Miss Isabel Borrego. Isabel has been on the varsity cross country and track team at Garland High School since her freshman year. She has been the district champion in cross country the past 2 years, advanced to the regional meet the past 3 years, and last year to the state meet. She was selected a member of the Texas 5A, 6A state cross country and all-star cross country teams for the last 2 years, in addition to being the district champion in the 1,600 meter and 3,200 meter runs. Isabel maintains a 4.22 GPA, is an international baccalaureate in AP classes, National Honor Society, and Beta Club. In her spare time, she is a volunteer with the North Texas Food Bank, for the Love of the Lake, and the Dallas Parochial League. She will continue her education on a full cross-country track and field athletic scholarship at Stephen F. Austin in the fall. Congratulations, Isabel. Next up, we have Mariah Ayers. Mariah has been a 4-year member of the Lady Patriot Varsity Track Program and a 3-year member of the Varsity Basketball Program. She has been a regional and state qualifier for the last 3 years and is currently ranked as the #1 100-meter and 200-meter dash runner in the class of 2019. Mariah is in the top half of her class and is a volunteer youth mentor at New Liberty Baptist Church and is a graduate of the Garland Police Department Youth Police Academy. Mariah is also a member of the Lakeview Criminal Justice Magnet Program. While she has been afforded scholarship offers from the University of Houston, Texas A&M, the University of Tennessee, and the University of Mississippi, Mariah will pursue her criminal justice studies by attending Baylor University on a full track and field athletic scholarship. Congratulations, Mariah. Next up is Miss Isabel Moody. Isabel is a 4-year varsity volleyball and softball team member at Naaman Forest and has served as captain of both teams, earning first team All-District, defensive MVP, and team MVP in softball, 4-year academic All-District, and volleyball academic All-State. Isabel has a 4.32 GPA and a class ranking of 16 out of 533. She is active in the National Honor Society, Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and has served as a class officer. She is service-minded by giving back to her church, youth softball and volleyball camps, an annual Naaman Forest Jingle Bell Run, and Relay for Life Garland team member. Isabel will attend Texas State University in the fall. Congratulations, Isabel. Next is Layla Atuma. Layla. Layla is a 4-year member of the North Garland High School swim team, currently leading the team with the fastest time in 6 of 9 events. She is a 2-year captain, first team All-District for 4 years, a 4-year regional finalist, district champion, school record holder in the 100-yard backstroke, and a member of 2 team relay records for the City of Richardson Club swim team. Layla maintains a 4.1 GPA with a class ranking of 45 out of 599. A 2019 class secretary, student council member, Beta Club, Red Cross vice president, and a member of the superintendent's change agents for North Garland. Layla will be attending Adams State University on a swimming athletic scholarship. Congratulations, Layla. Next is Ngozi Obaneki. Ngozi has been a 4-year member of the varsity basketball team at Rowlett High School and captain of the Lady Eagles, as well as running track her freshman and sophomore years. She is a member of the 1,000 Point Club, a 3-year 10-6A first team All-District, and a member of the Texas Association of Basketball Coaches All-Region team. Ngozi is a leader by example, whether it be on the court, stocking shelves with her teammates at the Life Message Food Pantry in Rowlett, or volunteering for field days at elementary schools. She still finds time to work at Whataburger and maintain grades in upper level courses. Ngozi will be attending Texas Women's University in the fall on a full basketball athletic scholarship. Congratulations, Ngozi. Next up, we have Avery Kraus. Avery has been a varsity multi-sport athlete for Saxe High School her freshman and sophomore year, a regional qualifier in 3 sports, cross country, track, and basketball, recognized as an all-state athlete in basketball, academic all-state, Dallas Morning News all-area, and MVP of the district in basketball, leading her team to the Texas State Tournament Final Four last season in San Antonio. Avery has scored over 1,000 points and set the Lady Mustangs school record for 3-point shots made. Avery has maintained a 4.27 GPA with a class ranking of 15 of 606. She is a member of Beta Club and National Honor Society. Avery volunteers for elementary field days, fall carnivals, Read to Succeed program, GISD Special Olympics, Cotton Bowl events, and mission outreach. Avery will attend the University of Texas at El Paso on a full basketball athletic scholarship. Congratulations, Avery. And our last nominee is Alexa Rodriguez. Alexa has been a leader of the South Garland girls basketball team for the past 4 years, both off and on the court. Alexa played the post and guard position, but has played every position on the team at one time or another. She is consistently our leading scorer and rebounder. In addition to basketball, she runs track and cross country. She is graduating in the top half of her class and has received her dental certificate through the CTE Center. Alexa will use her RDA this summer as a dental assistant and plans on going to Concord Career College to become a dental hygienist. Congratulations, Alexa. Dr. Lopez, would you like to do the honors and announce the winner?
You go ahead.
You want me to? Okay. All right, well, once again, we want to congratulate all of you guys. You make us very, very proud. Thank you so much. One more round of applause. The winner of the Gale Fields Award is Mariah Ayers. Okay, let's leave the girls up here and then the boys can come up and we can take a picture of everybody, okay? All right, now we're going to go on to the Gale Fields nominees for the boys. Ladies, you guys okay to stand up there for a little bit, or do y'all want to dismiss? You want them to dismiss, Dennis?
Either way.
Well, let's y'all stay. Y'all deserve the spotlight a little bit. All right. All right, so we're going to start off with, for the boys, Mr. Keith Crosby. Keith is a 2-sport athlete in football and track at Garland High School. He is a 2-time first-team All-District offensive lineman, GHS offensive line MVP, and team captain. Keith has maintained a 3.90 GPA, is a 21st Century Scholar recipient, and works diligently through his AVID class on many community projects. Keith has offers from Southeastern Oklahoma, Illinois State, and Mary Hardin Baylor. Congratulations, Keith. Next is Mr. Jalen Graham. Jalen is a 2-sport athlete at Lakeview Centennial who plays football and baseball, where he has been a 2-year starter in both sports. His athletic ability earned him the Lakeview Football Defensive MVP Award, while his character and academic commitment earned him the Hudson Academic Award. Jalen currently has a class ranking of 61 out of 488 and a 3.81 GPA. Jalen has been involved in many community activities and will be attending Langston University on a full football and academic scholarship. Congratulations, Jalen. Next is Roger Davis Janelle. Roger has been a 3-year starter for the Naaman Forest football team, earning the Naaman Forest Football Gridiron Club of Dallas Scholar Athlete and All-State First Team Academic Athlete. Roger holds a 4.6 GPA and a class rank of 4 out of 533. Roger is class president, DECA Vice President of Competition, President Model UN, National Honor Society, National Business Society, Speech and Debate Club, and Mu Alpha Theta. Roger has been highly involved in the Achievement Center of Texas, receiving the 2019 Champion Who Cares Award for his service to special needs children. Relay for Life Garland, Rotary Youth Leadership Award, and Eagle Scout. I'm glad Roger could join us tonight. Good Lord, he's so busy. Roger has received offers to play football at Austin College, Occidental College, and Southwestern. Congratulations, Roger. Our next Gale Fields nominee is James Kirkus. James is a 2-year starter and 2-year captain of the North Garland football team. James has maintained a 4.47 GPA with a current class ranking of 8 of 626. He is a member of the National Honor Society, Health Occupation Students of America, Superintendent Scholar, top 100 PSAT scores in Garland, Eagle Scout, community service, includes volunteering for Relay for Life, the annual Cancer Research Foundation, Scouting for Food, Wreaths Across America, and Garland Community Garden. James plans on majoring in biomedical engineering at the University of Oklahoma, attending medical school, and becoming an orthopedic surgeon. Congratulations, James. Our next nominee is Jerry Evans. Jerry is a Rowlett High School 2-sport athlete in football and track. In 2017, he earned honorable mention in football and a state qualifier in track. In 2018, he earned first team all-district in football, and with his competitive nature and team-first attitude, he led his teammates to elect him team captain, the leader and voice of the Rowlett football team. Medical issues in his family has not slowed Jerry down, nor did he ever use it as an excuse in his quest to become a leader. Jerry has maintained a 3.2 GPA and has been heavily involved in the community by volunteering for the Tornado Relief Force and Feed the Homeless program. Jerry will be attending Northwestern Oklahoma State University in the fall. Congratulations, Jerry. Our next nominee is Braylon Brooks. Braylon is a 2-sport athlete at Saxe High School, lettering in football for 3 years and lettering in track for the long jump and triple jump, where he has been a district and regional finalist the last 2 years. Braylon's exceptional football play has earned him academic All-State, First Team All-State defensive back, 10-6A defensive MVP, Associated Press 6A defensive player of the year, Sports Day High School All-Area defensive first team, and he set a GISD district record with a single season of 11 interceptions, 4 of which were returned for touchdowns, while maintaining a 3.97 GPA and a class ranking of 48. Braylon is active at Mount Hebron Missionary Church, where he is a mentor for children in the Kids Cave Club, church greeter, and he has also been active with the Great American Cleanup and field days at the elementary schools in Saxe. Braylon has accepted a full scholarship to play football at the United States Naval Academy. Congratulations, Braylon. Our last nominee is Khalil Davis. Khalil has been a member of the South Garland basketball team for the past 4 years, where he has made a commitment to getting better by dedicating his time and his efforts towards activities that will positively affect his production both on and off the court, as well as in the community. He has been spectacular in workouts, leading his team in the weight room as well as on the court with his contagious personality and work ethic. Khalil is in the top 10% of his class with a 3.59 GPA and a class ranking of 38 out of 594. Hard work and determination earned Khalil offers from both West Point and the United States Naval Academy, and he will be attending West Point in the fall. Congratulations, Khalil. So once again, to all the male athletes, congratulations. You guys represent what is best about our school district. And at this time, I'll announce the winner of the Gale Fields Award for the male athletes. And the winner of the Gale Fields Award for the male athletes is Mr. Braylon Brooks. So anybody want to take a couple of pictures? We're going to let them get down here in a little bit. But once again, we want to thank all of the athletes. Oh, you want to get the girls up here a little bit? Yeah, they can't really be seen. I can't be responsible for organizing all this. Maybe it'd be better to move over there and take photos. Or maybe we can, what do you think? I don't know what to do. I don't either. All right, now that's better. We can do some pictures. Y'all smile. So just real quick, as the kids are making their way back to their seats, both Mariah and Braylon will be awarded a $1,000 scholarship on behalf of the Garland Sports Hall of Fame. And if NCAA regulations will not allow the winners to accept the $1,000 award, the money will be given to the school in the name of the athlete. So let's get one more round of applause for our winners, our nominees, wonderful student athletes. And their contributions have been very important to their schools and their communities. So thank you guys once again. Real quick, guys, we'll talk about the Superintendent's Cup. The Superintendent's Cup, it's over here to my right. That is awarded each year to the school who has fielded the most successful sports team during the school year. This year, the Superintendent's Cup will be presented in August at the annual Coaches Barbecue Luncheon before school starts. So the Sports Hall of Fame wants to wish the best of luck to all of our 7 high schools and 11 middle schools as they compete for this award that recognizes the overall excellence of a school's athletic program. And congratulations are in order for the current holders of the cup. That is Saxe High School and Hudson Middle School. So congratulations to those schools, and we'll see if it changes hands in the summer. Dr. Lopez, do you want to say any words about the Superintendent Cup or anything at all? Yeah, go for it.
Well, good evening. For those of you that don't know me, I'm the superintendent for GISD, Rick Lopez, and what an honor it is to be here at a record-setting night in attendance. You know, let's give the Hall of Fame organizers a big round of applause to carry this tradition. I think what sets apart Garland from the rest is that we are really a family, we're a community, and other cities are now emulating our efforts on the Hall of Fame. And think about how long this tradition has served our community. How many people have been recognized through Gale Fields Awards and the excellence that's happening here each and every year. When I was up here, my heart broke because all of those 14 kids I've seen play and sacrifice, and they were also deserving. So the committee, I know you had a hard choice because Garland does put out some excellent, well-rounded kids. Spread the word. So, with that, we are hyper competitive here. So we do have a Superintendent's Cup that we are keeping that tradition alive. Hudson right now is holding the cup, and we're going to find out in August if they are able to keep it or lose it. Saxe right now is holding the cup, and we're going to see if they keep it or lose it. Each of our schools, we play to win. We play within the rules. We play fair. And I'll be honest with you, we want to run up the score until there's no more time, and then we'll shake your hand and say thank you for showing up. So when you see the GISD kids up here, understand life is competitive. No one's going to give them anything. And so every little thing that they come up here, whether it falls their way or not, we're preparing them for the real goals in life. And when you look around and you start really seeing everybody that's come from our district, it's amazing. We've had 2 commissioners of education from our district. We've had board presidents for the national organizations come from our district. You can go with lawyers, doctors, people of influence, are all coming from this area. So be very Garland proud. We might not be like the other districts around us, but who really wants to be? They want to be like us. So we're blue collar, we're right mind thinking, we're hyper competitive. It's all happening in GISD. Thank you for coming out tonight.
And now it is my pleasure to introduce the mayor of Garland, Texas, Lori Barnett Dotson. She's going to come up and just share a few words, and then she'll be presenting a proclamation to each of our inductees. So if you guys would mind giving a round of applause to Miss Lori Barnett Dotson, the mayor of Garland, USA.
I'll say, sitting back there, I was thinking, wow, how impressive these kids, everything they're doing, and they're graduating in the top of their class. You can say at least a mayor also came from GISD. I attended North Garland, but I promise you there was none of the football, track. I don't know how these kids do anything. Very impressive. But I realize that everybody in this room is pretty much like that. So, product of Garland, born and raised here, but I'm very pleased to be here. I thank the Hall of Fame board for inviting me. This is such an honor to share this with GISD and the kids. So let's get with the big awards.
Sounds good. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate that. All right, at this time, we are going to recognize the 2019 inductees into the Garland Sports Hall of Fame. Our first inductee is Joe Boren. Please enjoy the video.
Joe Boren graduated from Sunset High School in Dallas in 1951, where he excelled as a tailback in football, shortstop in baseball, and point guard in basketball. He earned All-State honors in football and All-City honors in baseball and basketball. The Sunset Bisons were the Texas State football champions in 1950. Joe was recruited by Texas A&M as an all-around athlete. While at A&M, he lettered in football in 1952 and 1953, basketball in 1954, and baseball in 1955 and 1956, and earned consensus All-Southwest Conference honors in both football and baseball. Joe ranked 6th overall at A&M with 11 career interceptions, 3rd with 8 interceptions in one season, and ranks 1st with 4 interceptions in one game in 1953 against Arkansas. He was captain of the A&M baseball team in 1955 when A&M was crowned Southwest Conference champions. He led the conference in home runs in 1956 with 8. After graduation from Texas A&M in 1956 and spending 2 years in the United States Army, Joe was drafted by the New York Giants. He spent 3 years in their farm system, playing in El Paso, Springfield, and Muskogee. Following baseball, Coach Boren began his high school coaching career in 1961. He coached in Nederland, Sherman, Dallas Bryan Adams, Lake Highlands, and Garland High School. While at Garland High School in 1978, the Owls had a record of 11-0 before losing in the quarterfinal round of the state playoffs to Carter High School. Joe also coached 5 years at Southern Methodist University for Hayden Fry and Dave Smith. Following his coaching career, Joe became a player personnel scout for the Dallas Cowboys for over 10 years and earned a Super Bowl 30 ring. Coach Boren was inducted into the Texas A&M Athletic Hall of Fame in 2006, and in 2013 was inducted into the Texas Sports Hall of Fame in Waco, Texas. Coach Boren is married to Evelyn Henderson Boren and resides in Garland, Texas. The Borings have 2 children, Joey and his wife Ruthie, and Elizabeth and her husband Danny. The Borings have 4 grandchildren and 3 great-grandchildren. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the newest member of the Garland Sports Hall of Fame, Joe Boren.
Dennis, how you doing? Enjoyed working with you. We ready to go?
I was going to say, so I was given a chance to read the proclamation that is in your program, and they did a great job actually recording a lot of it. So with this, I will just say thank you for coming back to Garland. That's the great part of Garland. There's so many people that return and bring their talents, and I think that's amazing. So with this proclamation, it is, at the end of it reads, "Now therefore I, Lori Barnett Dodson, Mayor of the City of Garland, with the City Council, do hereby convey this special recognition upon Joe Boring and welcome the newest member of the Garland Sports Hall of Fame." So we appreciate it very much from the city.
Okay, thank you. Okay, it's finally here, Garland Hall of Fame. I didn't think it'd ever get here. It seems like 6 or 7 months ago. I mean, it's just daily, and kept on and on and on, and finally, I'm here and I'm glad of it. Garland Hall of Fame 2019. First thing I would like to do is thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for my athletic abilities and my loving family and close friends. I'm humbled and honored to be receiving this award tonight. I would like to thank everyone involved for this honor. I would like to introduce my family now. My wife, Evelyn. My daughter, Liz, and her husband, Danny. And graduated GISD, Joey. Where's Joey? Okay, graduated GISD, his wife Ruthie, and our 3 grandsons, Joey, Gentry, and Jackson. They could not be here because of school or work. We have 3 great-grandchildren and a granddaughter. Would my nieces and nephews please stand? Where are you? Athletes and cheerleaders. Any cheerleaders back when I was at Garland High? Stand up. We were like family and keep in touch even today. We all were at Garland High School when integration began to enhance our athletic program. What great kids, wonderful memories. Coach Duran and I helped Evelyn with her swim teams from Garland High and South Garland. Coaching staff, athletes, and cheerleaders were part of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Our son and his friends from South Garland were part of our group that went to the Fellowship of Christian Athletes meetings and camping trips every summer. Parents, athletes, cheerleaders, and coaches from South and Garland High went camping at Galveston. Boy, that was some kind of trip, and spent the night on the beach. I coached Pony League, and Evelyn was the first woman to coach Little League for our son's team. As you can see, Garland is our hometown. We are truly blessed. December 1962, on our way to Houston to coach, we stopped in Garland to spend the night with my brother. My sister-in-law, Betty, held us hostage until I talked to Homer Johnson about a coaching position that was open. The rest is history. I coached football and was head football coach on and off for 14 and a half years. I knew I wanted to coach at the age of 9. My brother talked his 6th grade teammates into letting me play on their team. This was in Franklin, Texas. I was in the 4th grade and could run fast. We had beat Easterly. You won't know any of these towns probably, but Easterly was playing New Baden for the championship. We beat Easterly playing New Baden for the championship. We were behind in the 4th quarter. My daughter threw me a my brother, excuse me, threw me a pass, and it stuck in my hand for a touchdown, and we tied New Baden for the championship. When I fell with the ball, I skinned my arm really bad, and the game stopped so the coach could look me over. The head coach at the high school came out of the stands and onto the football field and took care of my wounds. As he walked away, I said, when I get big, I want to be a coach, just like that man. And that's about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach Boren. Our next inductee is Jim Dotson, and before we run the video on Coach Dotson, I believe Coach Boren and Coach Dotson are very, very good friends, and you know their minds think alike because their head-to-head record on the football field was 4-4-1. So the stalemate is obviously continuing tonight. They're both being inducted into the hall. So to break the long-standing tie, we're going to have Coach Boren and Coach Dotson have a bare-knuckle boxing match in the parking lot of the Beef House on Saturn Road a little bit later. That'll settle it once and for all. And just to spice things up, Coach Johnson, could you ref possibly, Homer? I didn't forget about you. Okay, good. That's 2 Beef House jokes in a row, 2 years in a row. So that'll be it for the Beef House for a while. But they are very, very good friends. And so here is Coach Dotson's video tribute. Please enjoy.
Jim Dotson attended Calhoun High School in Port Lavaca, Texas, where he was a stellar athlete for the Sand Crabs. He lettered 3 years in 3 sports: football, basketball, and track. He graduated in 1957 and accepted a full football scholarship to Texas Christian University. As a Horned Frog, Jim started as a running back and moved to the tight end position his junior year. TCU was the Southwest Conference champion in 1958 and played in the Cotton Bowl. In 1959, the Horned Frogs were the Southwest Conference champions with Texas and Arkansas, and the team played in the Bluebonnet Bowl. After graduating from TCU in 1962, Jim began his Texas high school coaching career in football and track in Round Rock. He then moved to Garland, where he was a member of the OWL coaching staff that won the 1964 state championship. Jim coached the Highland Park Scots for a year before moving to South Garland High School, where he would spend the next 19 years. He began as the assistant coach under Jocko Harris for 2 years before taking over as the head coach in 1971 at the age of 32. Jim remained the head coach for the Colonels for 13 years, where he led the team to a bi-district championship in 1973. The Colonels had many great seasons under Coach Dodson, and following the 1985 season, Jim resigned as head coach at South. He ended his career at Garland High School coaching football and track and retired from public education in 1992. Jim began working for the Dallas Cowboys in January of 1985. He worked in the scouting department, grading college players, and was a part of their 3 Super Bowl wins in 1993, 94, and 1996. Jim received a game ball and a ring in 1995 from Super Bowl 30 when the Cowboys defeated the Steelers 27-17. Jim was with the Cowboys organization for 27 years and played numerous roles in the scouting department. He worked out prospective players, attended training camps, and worked in the press box for many seasons. Jim and his wife, Judy, have been married for 58 years and have 3 children, Mark, Mike, and Lisa. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the newest member of the Garland Sports Hall of Fame, Jim Dodson.
Y'all can come on over here if you'd like. Come on over, Coach. Congratulations once again. Yes, sir.
Dotson. I don't think there's any relation, but I'm going to pretend there is now.
Is there a DOD?
It is.
All right.
I'll say it again. This is a special recognition from the Office of the Mayor and City Council for all your contributions to the city, and it's my honor to be here with you.
Thank you. Oh, okay. Thank you. Congratulations. Yeah. I want to thank Dennis and John Washington and all the members of the Board of Governors for this great honor. I want to thank my daughter Lisa. Stand up. She did most of the work on this, and her husband Rex. And I want to thank Josh Reynolds for doing the technology work on the pictures there. I couldn't have made it without that. Now I was going to introduce people kind of separately, but a few I will. But then I want to, my brother Jerry Dotson, stand up. His wife Diana. He is a retired coach, and their kids, my nieces, Denise and Julie, stand up. Now, I've got a pretty big number of grandkids. I want to ask the girls to stand up, the granddaughters, all y'all stand up. Between those three, there's all those over 3 of them have been captains of the Southern Bells. And there's one standing up right there. That's Megan. And Megan also was a Kilgore Rangerette, and she was a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader for 4 years. So we're very proud of her. Now the grandsons. You got Michael and you got David and Brandon. I don't see Brandon. I guess he took off. Anyway, David coaches at Richland Hills. He coaches football and basketball. Michael just graduated from Texas A&M, and he works for a national company that I don't know the name of it. Something global. Next, the real reason I went to Texas Christian University was I had quite a few offers, but I had a cousin who had 2. R.E., stand up. So R.E. Dotson, he's in the TCU Hall of Fame in 2014, and Sylvia, his wife. Yes, okay. Now then, Deidre and Dawn Dotson, y'all might remember them. They were feature twirlers at South Garland, and then they went on to Texas, and they were the 2 feature twirlers for the University of Texas. They won many awards, both of them in twirling. Dawn in 1980 was named Ms. College Majorette of America. When you can do something better than anybody else in America, you know it's something. That's saying something. So, very proud of you. Well, as I said, we moved to Port Lavaca, Texas whenever I was in the 8th grade. And kind of unique, my dad took the fire chief job there. and there was only one paid fireman. The rest of them were volunteers, and he was it. But we lived in the fire station up above the fire trucks and the police department and the jail over there. So it was pretty unique. And me and Jerry, of course, it wasn't very big up there, so we always had to sleep in the same room. That was a fun time. So I went to TCU. Basically, I was saying a while ago that one of the main reasons I went was because of RE. They got us to visit at the same time, and it was getting late in the year. We'd already visited a lot of other schools, and so they brought us to TCU at the same time to visit, and we decided there that we were going to go to TCU. And we were roommates as freshmen, and then he found a better deal, his wife Sylvia, and they got married in the summertime. So he traded me for her. And I don't blame him. At Port Lavaca, we were the Port Lavaca Sand Crabs. That was our name, our mascot name. And I didn't think anything about that until I got to college. And I had a couple of guys in college that never called me anything but sand crab. Then the next year, though, we had another sand crab come in, a guy named Ben Nix, who was all Southwest Conference, as a receiver. RE at TCU, one reason in the Hall of Fame, is back in that day and time, the rules were different. You played offense, you played defense, and then whoever the kicker was, he wasn't a specialist like today. Well, RE was an All-American kicker, but he also led the team in rushing in 1960. Another thing that I'm proud of is, if you saw that picture a while ago, I don't know how many recognized him, but was Bob Lilly, Mr. Cowboy. He was a freshman with us and a genuine great guy. When I graduated from TCU, I went to Round Rock, Texas. I was an assistant coach at Port Lavaca named Charles Nelson that had taken the job. I got offers of coaching junior high a few places, but I wanted to coach high school. So Round Rock now has something like 5 6A high schools. Back then, we had one with 179 kids in it. And we were in Class A. And I went there to coach because wanted to coach high school guys. And I found out something. After I got there, I was coaching high school guys, but I was also coaching 8th grade team and had to run the clock during basketball season. And then they didn't have a track program. This is one reason I wanted to go, because Charles Nelson was a track coach in high school. And so we started a track team, and we didn't have a track. We ran around the football field for track. But we won 2 district championships the 2 years I was there, and it wasn't because of me, it's because of the guys that could run fast that never had a chance to do it until then. But then my wife Judy, who has Alzheimer's and is in a home right now, when we went to Round Rock, we had 2 small kids. And so she was kind of left there alone all the time while I was out doing something all the time, And so, they were saying, if mama's not happy, nobody happy? Well, she wanted to get up closer to her family in Fort Worth. And so she told me she wanted to write RE a letter. RE coached on 2 state championship teams with Chuck Curtis in 63 and 64. You ought to probably be up here and me sitting down there. Anyway, he coached on. Chuck Curtis was a TCU guy that we had known. He graduated a year before we got there, but he was playing for the New York Giants. So he would come back to TCU in the spring and help coach. So we got to know him there. But R.E. was a defensive coach. He coached the linebackers and the secondary. Used to have 4 guys on a coaching staff, okay? And those 4 guys had to do a lot of things. And so anyway, my wife wrote him and wondered if I could get a job up here. So he talked to Chuck, and he sent a deal back that Chuck said, come on up on a weekend. And we did. And Chuck told me, he took me over to see Dr. Peters, the personnel guy. And Chuck said, well, you got a job. We just don't know where yet. So I come around, we moved here, and of course Garland won in '64, and it was a great honor for me to go out there. I didn't do much coaching, but just watching them work out at that time. But I was assigned to the 8th grade Sam Houston Colts football. And there was here earlier, I don't know whether they left or not, about 4 or 5 of them, if any of y'all are still here, stand up, that played on that first Sam Houston team. They were some great players I inherited, and we won every ball game. We won them all. And I want to say this too, back to R.E. again. But after we'd worked in 2 days and all that, well, I told R.E. I want to sit down with you and kind of get some input on what you would do coaching 8th grade kids. So we sat down. And the unique thing about the offense at Garland when I came, and RE too, is the offense was like TCU's. And Chuck told me, he said, you don't have any trouble learning the offense and knowing it because we're running, TCU stuff. And so, but I sat down with RE and he gave me his input on what he would do on offense and defense. It's very simple and all. And so that's what we did, was just a few things. But if you got players, you can do that. And we had players. And then I had these guys again. I moved up at midterm when RE left to take a job with Vero. And so I went, and Ernie Cunningham took over as head coach. May he rest in peace. And so he called me and said, we're moving you up to coach. They called B team then, it's a JV now. It was sophomores, basically, with a few other people. So I moved up. We had a group. Is anybody from that first group in here? It's all 3 or 4 of them earlier. Anyway, then we lost one game, and then I got all these guys back that from Sam Houston, had all them plus Bussy, had some good players, and Stephen F. Austin. Anyway, we went, for the first 4 years I was in Garland, we lost 2 games in 4 years. And that group from Sam Houston was a member of 2 of those teams from back then. Anyway, I moved from the 8th grade head coach to the head coach at South Garland in 8 years. And that's why I really wanted to come back. And Homer B. Johnson is one of the main reasons for my whole days that I thank him greatly for everything. And when I left Garland, and I went to Highland Park for 1 year, and I didn't intend on leaving Highland Park. It was a whole different situation, but I know why Highland Park wins now. The Garland kids were always overachievers, but those rich boys, really, we laughed one time. We were walking outside doing something, and the head coach was Herman Bailey, and he said, "Boy, you can sure see where the players' cars are and the coaches, you know, because we was all down there with these beat up." I was driving a Rambler, and right beside it'd be a Corvette or something, you know. And we had one guy on the team who had 3 cars. He had 3 cars. And he had a chrome dune buggy, and he had a one of those fancy Corvettes, and then he had a Lincoln Continental. And what he did is he loved that chrome dune buggy, and he drove it most of the time. His name was John Carpenter. Everybody hear the Carpenter Freeway? That was his granddad's land that they had. But anyway, that one year in Highland Park, we were 8-2, and guess who beat us to win the district championship? Garland. And all those kids that I had coached, when the game was over, they all come running at me. And of course, I'd been beat, and I wasn't very happy, but I was happy to see them. I know I'm running out of time. After being the head coach of South Garland for a long time, I ended up going to work for the Cowboys, and it said up there, you know, I was what was called a film grader, and all. But I did a lot of things, ended up going into the pro stuff and all that, and the rewards were many. And these guys sitting right out here from the Cowboys, I'm going to ask y'all to stand up one more time. These are guys that I worked with the Dallas Cowboys. Stand up. Whenever my wife could no longer function with her Alzheimer's disease, I had to go and take care of her. So I left in 2011. She was diagnosed in February, but I knew something was wrong, all along, but I didn't even know what Alzheimer's was. And she was diagnosed with that. Well, that April, pro team goes from draft to draft. It's not from January 1st to January 1st. It's from draft to draft. So as soon as that draft was over with, well, I bowed out and went home to take care of her. When I left the Cowboys, the biggest thing I missed is these guys right here. These guys that I worked with, there's some more of them that didn't get to make it, but working with them every day was a real reward. When we went on the computer system, Rich Beam sitting over here, I didn't even know how to turn a computer on. And we went to it. So Richie was my go-to guy for the technology. And the first day I think I called him in there, I said, "How do you turn it on?" So anyway, but got used to it. But anyway, my time I know is out and probably run over. But I want to thank everybody that came tonight. And again, thank Homer Johnson, for he was always had your back and was a good guy to work for. And I came back to South Garland with whenever James Harris got the job, and he called me at home. I didn't know who he was, but he had a great winning record, and he said, "Homer Johnson wanted me to talk to you." So Homer was responsible for me coming back from Highland Park to Garland. So I can never repay him for everything he did for me. And I want to really, really thank all you people that came tonight. My group, my whole family over there, and players. There's quite a few players in the audience that I coached during that time. So I thank you all, and thank you for this honor. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Coach Dotson. Before we give the stage to Quincy and watch his video, I do want to just recognize Balfour. They donate these rings to the inductees, and if you've never had an opportunity to see one, please look at one. They're beautiful, and I can tell you from working with Balfour and from a perspective of a campus principal, they are great people, and I don't know if the Cheeks are here tonight, but if you are, guys, thank y'all very much, and if you guys would give a round of applause to Balfour for donating these beautiful rings. Our next inductee is former Colonel Great, Quincy Morgan, and we're going to watch his video at this time.
Quincy Morgan was born in Dallas, Texas, and moved to Garland in 1990. He attended South Garland High School and was a 3-year starter at wide receiver. Quincy earned numerous awards while playing for the Colonels, including Sophomore of the Year, All-District Super Team his junior and senior year, as well as being a team captain and team MVP his senior year. Quincy also represented the Colonels on the basketball court and helped his team bring home the district championship twice. After graduating from South Garland in 1996, Morgan played football at Blinn Junior College, where he helped win the National Junior College National Championship. He then accepted a scholarship to play at Kansas State University. In 1999, Quincy surpassed 1,000 yards on 42 catches in his first season, while leading the Wildcats to an 11-1 record and a Holiday Bowl victory. He was named First Team All-Big 12 and the Kansas State Male Breakthrough Athlete of the Year. Following a stellar senior season in 2000, Morgan earned First Team All-American and First Team All-Big 12 honors. He set several K-State records, including being the first receiver in Wildcat history with back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. One of Quincy's proudest moments came when Garland Mayor James Spence pronounced February 20th, 2001 as Quincy Morgan Day. Quincy was drafted by the Cleveland Browns as the 33rd overall pick in the 2001 NFL Draft and was the Browns' starting wide receiver and kickoff returner for 4 years. In 2002, he led all NFL wide receivers in yards per catch average while posting career highs of 56 catches, 973 yards, and 7 touchdowns. He played a significant role in the Browns' only playoff team since 2002. Quincy went on to play 1 year for the Dallas Cowboys, 1 year for the Pittsburgh Steelers when the team won the 2005 Super Bowl, and finished his 6-year NFL career with the Denver Broncos in 2007. Quincy and his wife Callie have 3 children, Maya, Gabrielle, and Aubrey. They live in Missouri City, Texas, where Quincy founded 581 Sports and Agility Training, where he mentors and develops at-risk youth and young football players. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the newest member of the Garland Sports Hall of Fame, Quincy Morgan.
Congratulations. I figured at least for this one, I would go ahead and show what this is. It's actually a proclamation that, again, it is my honor to present to you on behalf of the city and city council.
Thank you. Thank you. What I will tell you, Miss Mayor, when you walked up, my daughter looked at my wife and said, I thought boys were mayors. So you're already making an impact.
Wear high-heel shoes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I haven't done this in a long time. First of all, I want to thank everyone who voted me in for this today. I'm so grateful, very grateful. A lot of people say it's my just due, but you know, everything comes, you know, God has a plan and everything comes to you when it's supposed to come to you. I also want to dedicate this going in today to three women who meant a lot to me and their families. First off, Mary Morgan, my grandmother, Keisha Johnson, close family friend, and Viola Davis. So, to begin, sorry, y'all. I want a few people to stand up today. I want to start with Miss Sheila. Stand up, please. No, stand up. I didn't say sit back down. Stand up. I want to tell a story. I want to point some things out. She was the high school principal at South Garland High School. I met her my first day at high school. ninth grade, first day. And when I say first day, I mean getting off the bus. I got in trouble on the way to school. First day of school in ninth grade, high school, getting off the bus, took me to the principal, Miss Sheila. She's here today, not because I dug her number up and I wanted to come here, but since that day, we've been close friends. We've always stayed in touch. I love her like a mother. She was my second mother away from school. People say I owned the school because of her. I could do whatever I want. And people go to the principal's office and tell her, well, Quincy did it and he didn't get in trouble and you let him walk, you know, so I love her for that. She was my mentor at school and you did. She got me through high school, task test. She did. I mean, she was, I owe a lot to you. I love you for it. Thank you. Next, I probably should have started in order. Mark Andrews, stand up. Now this man right here, this is my little league coach. It's my little league coach. And again, he found me in the park, 10 years old, playing throw-up tackle with some kids in Dallas, Texas. Let him tell the story. I had long, dirty socks flapping in the wind, running by everybody. He came by, asked me did I want to play football, and that's, you know, me growing up, I tell you, still to this day, I'm a sports guy. I love sports, I love the game, I love football. I had everybody posters on my wall. I had books. I mean, I'm a football guy. I love football. And Coach found me, took me home to my mom. I actually got in the car with him. Thank God he wasn't. He wasn't a kidnapper. You know, I actually got in the car with him. Took me home to my mom. The rest is history, man. Joined the team called the Panthers. He picked me up for every practice, every game, brought me home, brought me Jack in the Box. He's one of those guys of why now I kind of have a heart and I love doing things for people because of what he did for me. Our team, we were the Panthers, North Dallas Panthers. I tell them I go between them and my JUCO team, probably one of the best teams ever to walk this earth. Group of kids, I mean, we were maybe 33, 35 and 0. We had to play in 6 or 7 different leagues because people kept kicking us out. We was that good. I mean, he was the what you call it, the super team. He was a symbol of a super team before all these NBA players and the Patriots and the Rams started doing it. Mark Andrews did it first, ladies and gentlemen. He did it first. He did. He put together a heck of a team. And again, I love you for that because you gave me my start. I appreciate that. Love you for that. Next, Christopher Johnson, stand up. Coach Johnson, y'all probably know him as North Garland basketball coach. Give him a round of applause. North Garland, I know everybody enough from North Garland. Yeah, thank you. This guy right here, again, being at South Garland, is a mentor to me. Mentor / big brother, coach. Guided me through everything. And as you can see, it took a village with me. It did. My mom did a great job raising me. She did. I don't want y'all to get that misconstrued. She did a heck of a job raising me, but it took a village with me. I was one of those kids, you know. Coach Johnson, again, I broke my ankle. He picked me up every day for school, made sure I got there, made sure I got home. One of the first people at the hospital with me. Always took care of me in school, made sure I got to school when I didn't have a ride on certain days. He would actually come pick me up, make sure I got there. He would give me big brother, fatherly advice at school. Again, kept me grounded. One of those people, when I got in trouble, they would send me to, talk to him. And to this day, like I say, I didn't dig him up. We talk all the time. Love him to death. I do. I love him to death, and I thank you. You know, I thank you for everything, man. Everything. Next. I'm like everybody else before me. I'm gonna have everybody stand up. I want one of my buddies, Julius. Stand up. Y'all don't know him. Y'all don't know him. But he's here. He's standing up because again, it's a story of me. Everything. My life is a story. I might write a book one day, actually. And this guy right here, he was about 2 years older than me. Might have been 3. He was an upperclassman when they put me on varsity as a sophomore. Again, like I said, it took a village with me, even with the other kids in the school. It took a village. One of those young kids just didn't, you know, always pushing back. Coach Thompson, Ronnie Thompson, the high school coach at that time. He's not here today. Again, great guy, love him to death. One of those people that I leaned on, who's a big part of who I am today. But Julius, I quit the team. South Garland, I quit the team. Didn't like what Coach Thompson got on me. I quit the team. Juice kept on the phone, called me back. Come on, play. We need you. Come play. And then keep in mind, I'm just a sophomore. I haven't done anything. Didn't like the coaches fussing at me, but he made me come back. And he picked the number 5 out for me, which is my favorite number to this day, and that's why I have him here today. I love him for it. He picked the number 5 out for me. It's my good luck number. I have a lot of success in that number. I'm wearing it on my shirt right now today, so I just want to thank you for that. I love you for that, my man. Appreciate it. And next, Sean Piper, stand up. One of my good friends, one of my best friends in the world right here. Lakeview Centennial guy. One of my rivals. One of my rivals right here. Heck of a football player, man. I just want to thank you for pushing me through all those days in high school, competing against me. He was actually, all those accolades that y'all just read up from high school to college, my accolades, his dwarf in comparison. I mean, he was the man at Lakeview, put up big numbers. He pushed me, always pushed me along my road to stardom in college and pros. He was right by my side, guiding me. One of those reasons, able to stay grounded, not getting in trouble, not drinking. You have friends, and all you young people out here, I just want to send a message. You have to put people in your circle like him. We didn't smoke. We never had a taste of a cigarette or a puff of weed, a sip of alcohol. You know, I kept those type of people in my circle. He was one of those guys who didn't do those type of things. So I thank you again, man. I love you for that. And everybody else in my family, I have y'all with me because y'all always supported me. Y'all stand up. Y'all stand up. Not my mom, my sisters, my aunties, my cousins. Y'all stand up. Y'all stand up. Give them. I got my auntie, my auntie Yvette here. She came to every game, high school, college. She filled my dorm room when I first went to junior college, Blinn Junior College. She filled my dorm room with goodies and blankets. Love you for that, auntie. My cousins, just love y'all and thank y'all for y'all support. Thank you. And the best thing that ever happened to me, my beautiful wife, Khalees, stand up. Now, let me tell y'all something. This woman right here, like every marriage, you know, people have their ups and downs. But let me tell you something. This woman right here, one of the strongest people I ever met in my life, one of the realest people I ever met in my life. Been with me through thick and thin, ups and downs. She could have left a long time ago. Probably should have left a long time ago, but she's still here. And no, I'm just kidding. We have 3 beautiful children, and we love our life together. And she came later in this path. When I say later, I mean later. I mean, shortly after she came, I stopped making the money I was making. She's still here. So she didn't, she missed the big spender days. You know, she came along, showed me how to tie some of that money up and save it. So I love you for that too, babe. And last but not least, I want my sisters and my mom to stand. Well, no, I want my sisters to stand up. So my 2 little sisters, I love them. I love them to death. I love them to death. A lot of people knew me around Garland just for being with my sisters all the time. You know, my mom working hard. I was always babysitting. That's why I say I think I was born to be a father, because I had my 2 little sisters. I was always like a big brother / father figure to them. Caused a little rift in our relationship at times because I'm tough. You know, I always wanted the best for my little sisters, but to see them grow as beautiful young women and achieve the things that they achieved, I want to say thank y'all for being who y'all are along my journey and supporting me. And again, I am who I am because of y'all and y'all love, and I appreciate it. All right, now. I don't think I forgot anybody, did I? Oh, my girls. Yeah. I thought I mentioned it with my wife. My beautiful little girls. I have twins. Gabby and Maya, stand up. It's my twin 8-year-old girls. Look at them. Look at them. My 5-year-old daughter, Aubrey, y'all probably saw me carrying her around all day today. You know, she's daddy's baby. So again, man, I have to say, these girls, it's a whole different. All these, I mean, they bring so much to my life. You know, all these accolades and things like that, the money, the fame, doesn't compare to having these girls. Once they came in my life, nothing else mattered. Nothing else mattered at all. So again, I just want to tell everybody I love them, especially my daughters. Last but not least, my mom, please stand up, Jacqueline Morgan. Now, we talking about resilience, strength, everything, compassion. I mean, my mom is everything to me. And everybody know that. Everybody who know that, they know that about me. I don't even know where to start with this lady. Some of the sacrifices I see her make when I was younger. I'm not gonna put us business out there, but having me at such a young age, man, is you see that these days, a lot of these young mothers, they're friends to their kids, and they don't raise these kids right, and these kids go off on a different path. But my mom was a young mother, and she was a young mother. She wasn't a friend of mine. She was a young mother. I mean, I got a spanking for rattling spoons too loud in the drawer one time. And I tell everybody that story. So I mean, my mom, I mean, whenever I need it, sometimes I don't even know where the money came from or some of the things that I received in my life, she found a way. And I never went without, you know. Coming from Dallas, moving to Garland, you know, we didn't have everything, but I never went without. I had her love. I know I had her love. I come home every day. I mean, not every day, but before a game, and I know she'd have a meal waiting on me. Before a game, I would bring my friends over. We watch Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. You know, there's just, you know, just some of those things that I could count on. All throughout my life, just college, her shipping me Mrs. Barrett's chocolate donuts, everything, countless. I can go on and on. I couldn't even repay her back. I tried. Damn near went broke when I got my money trying to pay her back, man. So all y'all athletes out there, don't try to pay your mama back, man. Just do a little something nice for her. Don't try to pay her back for your love, because it's tough. I'm telling you, it's tough. But Mom, I love you, Mama. I do. I don't think I tell you enough these days, but I do. I love you, and I thank you for everything. Yeah, I do. And I'm not gonna hold you long. Real quick, I just want to say something about this city, this great city. It was February 20th, 2001. It was presented with Quincy Morgan Day. And that was a big honor for me. And I will say that I tell people this all the time, I'm kind of ashamed because I was presented with that day. I come back to the city to visit my family and friends, but I'll be honest right now, and I talked to a couple of people from Garland Pee Wee football, and I don't think I've done my part for Garland. I can honestly say that. I can look everybody in their eyes in here. I don't think I've done my part. But sitting here today, looking everybody in their eyes, looking around this room, starting today, I will do my part. This city will hear from me a lot and see me a lot around these parts because this city has given me so much. So I will pay my dues. I would definitely pay my dues and give back in whichever way I can. And that's a promise from me and my family. Absolutely. Because I just want to share a little story. When I was growing up in Dallas, my last sixth grade, we was in elementary in Dallas, and my mom told me that we were moving to Garland, Texas. I didn't know about Garland. All I knew, I come from Dallas. All my friends was in Dallas. We was going to middle school together. So she moved to Garland. And if you heard me, I said she moved to Garland. My grandmother still lived in Dallas, and I said, you go to Garland, I'm gonna stay in Dallas with my grandmother. So she came to Garland. My grandmother lived in South Dallas, Texas. I was bored out of my mind, but I told my mom I wasn't going, so I had to stick with it. That's the type of kid I was. I'm gonna stick with it. I'm gonna stay with my grandmother. I'm not going to Garland. But I will say this, the day I decided, okay, Grand, I'm gonna go ahead with Mom and go back to Garland, changed my life forever. Changed my life forever. We stayed in New West Apartments. I think they changed the name now, but they were formerly New West Apartments. I had the time of my life. I mean, I never seen so many kids in one area, in one apartment complex in my life. grew up there, learned so many life lessons, so many great young athletes who pushed me physically, mentally, saw people getting in trouble, saw people dying, losing people to these streets in those apartments. But I wasn't one of those kids who was gonna follow them. I always, like I said, I had the strong support system of my family and my mom not to go in that direction. But I thank her so much for bringing me to Garland, Texas, because this city does mean a lot to me. Because when someone asks me where I'm from, I say Garland, Texas. And there's a lot of people from Garland, Texas that say Dallas because they don't want to take the time out to explain where Garland is, you know? But they don't. But me, I'm gonna make you understand where Garland is. I'm gonna let you know. If you say where, I will explain it to you. I was one of those guys who on Monday Night Football, when you had to do the introduction, and I didn't say Kansas State University. I said Quincy Morgan, South Garland High School.
All right. Thank you, Quincy. Our final inductee this evening is the quintessential Garland Owl, Coach Jennifer Sisson, and we'll watch her video.
Jennifer Sisson was a three-sport athlete for the Garland Owls, excelling in softball, volleyball, and basketball. She was a 4-year starting catcher in softball, earning numerous awards including the DFW All-Area Team with a batting average of .486, DFW All-Star Game MVP, GHS Offensive Player of the Year, and MVP. Jennifer was also a 3-year varsity middle blocker in volleyball, earning first-team All-District, and she played the post position for 4 years on the varsity basketball team, receiving GHS MVP honors. Additional accolades include the 1997 Garland Sports Hall of Fame Gale Fields Award and the Michelle Dedman Award for GHS Most Athletic. Upon graduation in 1997, Jennifer accepted an athletic scholarship to play softball for Sam Houston State University, where she was a starting catcher for 4 years. She twice earned the Sam Houston Softball Team MVP Award and received all Southland Conference honors in 2001. In 2002, Jennifer became the Bearcats assistant softball coach, and upon earning her master's degree in 2004, returned to Garland and joined the Owl softball coaching staff as an assistant. Her Garland Owl softball coaching highlights include 2006 and 2007 back-to-back state championships and 2005 state runner-up. In 2007, she was a member of the Southwest Regional Coaching Staff of the Year. In 2013, Sisson became the head coach of the Owls softball team, reaching the playoffs in 2013, 2016, 2017, and 2018. In addition to coaching, Jennifer became the GHS Girls Athletic Coordinator in 2015. Jennifer is proud to have carried on the family legacy at GHS. Both of her parents and brother graduated from Garland High School. Jennifer and her husband Gentry live in Rowlett and have 2 children, Bailey and Brady. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the newest member of the Garland Sports Hall of Fame, Jennifer Sisson.
Congratulations and thank you very, very much. Thank you.
Thank you. It's hard to be last at one of these things because everybody wants you to wrap it up, I know. So I wrote a speech and I'm going to read it so I don't get off topic, so bear with me. First off, I would like to thank the Hall of Fame board for this incredible honor, and I would like to congratulate Coach Boren, Coach Dodson, and Quincy Morgan. It is very humbling to be selected along 3 Garland legends. Also, congrats to all the Gale Fields nominees and the winners. I grew up in Garland. On Friday nights, I either watched my parents and their friends play slow pitch softball, or I went to Williams Stadium to watch the Owls. Both of my parents were great athletes. My dad played football for the Owls and earned a scholarship to TCU. My mom was a really good softball player, but unfortunately just did not have the same opportunities in school that I did. Growing up, I played every sport I could. I played basketball, soccer, and of course softball. Back then, every sport had a season, and select teams were actual teams, not a business or corporation like they are now. My best sport ended up being softball. When I was 8, a man named Charles Bearden combined the best players in Garland to be on a travel team called the Legends. And one of my teammates is here today. Thank you, Sarah, for being here. I played on this team from the time I was 8 to 18. Coach Bearden was the very best teacher of fundamentals that I've ever been around, and it was him who made me a catcher. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for him. He passed away a few months ago, but I want to thank his wife, Frida, and his daughter, Brenna, and her husband, Steve, for being here. It means a lot to me. Thank you. Of course, thank you. Of course, I chose Garland High School as my high school, and it was a great time to be an owl. We had the very best principal in Bob Price. Nearly every single one of my high school coaches is in this Hall of Fame. Our coordinator was Lynn Duck. I never had Lynn as a coach, but she was always one of my biggest supporters. And she is still one of my closest friends. So thank you, Lynn, for always being there for me. Our trainer was and still is Scott Smith, the very best trainer in GISD. And a lot of people don't know this, but he was actually our first base coach for our first couple of seasons in softball. So wherever you are, Coach Smith, I love you. Thank you. So I played 3 sports for the Owls: volleyball, basketball, and softball. My volleyball coach was Sherry Oliveras, and I got to we won district almost every year in volleyball, and I got to represent Garland in the regional tournament in Huntsville. I had 3 basketball coaches at Garland. All of them are in this Hall of Fame. The first was Johnny McCoy. We had one of the best JV teams around. That is saying a lot when you're in a district of Duncanville, DeSoto, the Mesquite schools. Our districts were super competitive back then. Johnny was a great coach and is now one of my closest and most loyal friends. I love you, Johnny. Thank you for everything you've ever done for me. Cindy Mosteller was also a basketball coach at Garland. And I got to play up a couple of times my freshman year. And she was a really good basketball coach. A lot of you may not know that, but she really was. But I'm so glad that softball came along, because I don't know if her heart could have taken many more basketball seasons, because she would get pretty fired up. Then I had Donna McCullough. Donna McCullough, who is now at Saxe High School and is also a member of the Hall of Fame. Donna led us to a huge playoff berth. We hadn't made playoffs in years. And we beat Damon Forest, sorry Judy, but we beat Damon Forest to make playoffs. And basketball wasn't really my main sport, but Coach McCullough always believed in me and pushed me to be my best. So thank you, Coach McCullough, for everything. So in 1994, my freshman year, softball was started in high school. Things were a little different than now. We did not have our own fields. We played and practiced at Winters Park, but we loved it. It was a great atmosphere for softball. Most of my legend teammates went to GHS. We had 2 amazing seniors that led our team, and we had the very best coach, high school coach in softball, in Cindy Mosteller. Coach Moss made softball so fun, and even though she could get intense, we loved her so much and learned so much from her. And we would have done anything for her and still would today. So thank you, Coach Moss, for everything you've ever done for us. There are also 2 people that are here that became lifelong fans of our softball team. Dan and Sugar Estes, who still come to every softball game to this day. So thank you. Dan and Sugar are here. Thank you very much. We were really good, and I think a lot of people around here were surprised. We won district all 4 years, and we made it to regionals my freshman and senior year. I'm so proud that I could be part of the foundation that started this great program that is still successful today. So every summer for 10 years, starting my junior year in high school and some Christmas breaks, Gary Reeves and Larry Williams let me work for the personnel department. I absolutely loved it, and I made so many friendships and connections with people that I still have to this day. GISD was once a big, close family, and I was so proud to be a small part of it. Gary Reeves always believed in me, and he and Donna came to almost every softball game that I played. Thank you for always supporting me and allowing me to come back and coach at GHS. Thank you. I went to college at Sam Houston State. The program was rebuilding, and I thought it would turn around quick. It never did when I was a player. However, I caught nearly every game. I was selected MVP for 2 years, and I earned 2 degrees there. So I always considered it a failure that we never won, because in high school we won every game. But I earned 2 degrees, played every game, so it really was a huge success. After my senior year, I had a semester left to finish, and a man by the name of Bob Brock was hired to be the new softball coach. He was legendary. He had won 3 national championships at A&M University. I met with him when he was hired, and for some reason, he hired me to be his assistant. It was a dream to coach in college, and we worked so good together. I thought that was gonna be my career forever. I had my dream job. I was a Division I college coach, working under somebody who had won 3 national championships. And together, we turned around that program. We made it to the conference tournament, and we're 1 game away from the conference championship. So maybe as a player, I didn't reach my goal, but I got to do it as a coach with somebody that was legendary, and it was one of the highlights of my life. And unfortunately, because of the storms, Coach Brock couldn't be here, but I thank him for everything he did for me also. Coming back to Garland at first was a very hard decision. I love Sam Houston, but I knew that coming home was the right thing to do. Again, when I got back to GHS, it was thriving. We had an amazing principal in John Morris, who, while he was principal, attended every single softball game that we ever played. Our coaching staff was nearly the same, and we were successful at nearly every sport, especially softball. We had just graduated some really big names, like Stacy Braddock and Amberly Fuller. So I really didn't know what to expect. I knew we would be good, because we always were, but graduating some of those kids, I had no idea. But I got to work with kids like Tommy Garrison, who is a Hall of Fame member, and she is here today. Thank you, Tommy, for coming here. But kids like Tommy Garrison, Crystal Huey, Brianna Love, Lindsay Lipscomb, Vanessa Weiss, Lana Armstrong. I could sit here and name all those names that really should be in this Hall of Fame, because those kids earned 2 state championships for this city, and it was amazing. And those kids, the plays those kids made were just unbelievable, and it was one of the best times of my life. I've been at Garland for 15 years now. I've coached softball every year but 1. We have not made it to state since 2008, but I've still got to coach some of the best kids and athletes in the area. I'm so proud to be a part of a program that has made playoffs 23 out of 26 years. Amberly Fuller has worked alongside me now for 10 years, and I don't know what I would do without her. You and Andrew Cano, once again, together, we earned another playoff berth, so thank you guys for all that you do for me, and you make coming to work fun and enjoyable every day. Thank you. So and now I'm the girls coordinator, and I have a great staff that I work with. People like Lynn Duck, who is still there, who I never want to leave. Scott Smith is still here. Dot Baker, Johnny McCoy. My sister, Stacy Sampson. Thank you. There's just so many great coaches on our staff that I get to work alongside. Danny Russell, our football coach, who pushes all of us to make Garland High School a better place every day. Thank you, Danny. And of course, we have our amazing principal, Holly Hines, who is a huge supporter of athletics and a great friend. In closing, I would like to thank Judy Campbell and Cliff Odenwall for giving me the opportunity to coach and teach at a place that I dearly love. I would also like to thank my family, my parents, Mike and Jan, for always supporting me in everything I've ever done. Y'all can stand up if you want. My in-laws are here, Kay and Sunny Sides. Stand up. And Gary Sisson. My little brother Ryan, who played football for the Owls. He is here. My husband Gentry. I love you. Thank you for putting up with me and my crazy life. And my 2 children, Bailey and Brody, who I hope will be great Garland athletes someday. Thank you again for this incredible honor, and I'm so humbled to be part of this Hall of Fame. Thank you.